Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. I didn't really feel like doing the reading inside. It's quite nice out. We can hear the birds and the little squirrels, so why not do it outside? Just for those of you that are new, I am using Egyptian Cartouche cards to do my readings. And there's the dog next to me. He heard me talking. Hey puppy. Yeah, it's like, who are you? Anyway, I use Egyptian Cartouche cards. The deck has symbols that our ancient brothers and sisters in Egypt used and recognized on the daily. There are small hieroglyphs on the corners of the cards to contain the potent energies. So without further ado, let's get started. For my totem today, I brought my prayer bowl. I usually fill it up with, I always fill it up with water and I pray. In fact, I only do my readings until I pray. So, yeah. This reading I'm going to do for Taurus. Okay, let me channel Taurus here. Between 5 and 7. The number I just mentioned is the number of times to shuffle the deck. So 2, 3, 4. Feeling like a 7. Alright, getting closer. Great, alright. I'm going to do the 5-point star spread facing you. I'll explain what each part of the star spread means as we go along the reading. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3, move this over here, 4, 5. Interesting, very interesting, Taurus. All right. So, let me just explain how this goes. It's the nature of the problem, situation, or question, reason for asking, or points of interest, factors to be considered, advice, comment given, and the outcome or solution. Okay, so, alright, lotus is a very beautiful symbol. It has a very peaceful energy to it because if we look deeper into the plant comes from the murky, muddy depths, starts creeping its way to the top, and as it opens its petals, it is safeguarded by the leaves so that the flowers don't even touch the water's murky surface. Essentially, this is inner peace. This is just, I guess you could say, the contentness of the one. You know, when one is able to achieve inner peace. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. So then here at the nature of the problem, situation, or question, the message is that there is this disturbance, the struggle for this inner peace, it seems. I wouldn't even say a disturbance in the inner peace because Taurus, you're pretty grounded. And so it's more like there are certain things that are making you doubt something within yourself. And again, like, words are so limiting because what I'm trying to explain isn't even it's hard to explain. So you know how when you have your intuition, and in some cases even your intuition could be kind of throwing you off. So basically the root of what I'm getting for the situation or question is like there is something within you doubting yourself. You are doubting some aspect within yourself or of yourself. It's really interesting because, again, since here we have the symbol of inner peace, to have this is like, I'm getting the image of rippling waters. The waters are not calm. There is something inside the water that is making it ripple, okay? Something deep inside you. I'll just leave it at that for now, okay? I think I've worked that one enough. And so that's the problem of the matter, situation, or question. And here we have the reason for asking. And so here I have the pyramid. It's a beautiful symbol, and not even a symbol, it's an actual fact. This building, this monument that was able to be achieved through the combined efforts of many. So in this case, the reason for asking, it's almost like the reason for asking is that this is a long time project, starting from the bottom, working all the way up. So there is this disturbance of the inner calmness, of the inner peace. And then here, for the reason for asking, there is this yearning. Not even a yearning, but it's like this inner project of being able to complete the project is what I'm getting. Beautiful. And here, interestingly enough, and factors to be considered. So Ptah is the god of creativity, innovation, making like hardworking, consistency. Many people see this as the Freemason symbol, but in fact, in those times, this was just an icon for architects and for creatives. So in the factors to be considered, meaning in the future, here what I'm getting is like there could be this, I would like to say, like a slump of some sort. You just don't have the same spark to be so productive. The innovation is not there. There is this lack in consistency, interestingly enough. So yeah, and factors to be considered, meaning what's coming up ahead, is that it's acknowledging that there is this lack of spark, this lack of innovation, consistency. So, but it's interesting because it's not even a negative thing that I'm sensing. It's more like a cyclical thing. Like there are moments to be productive, moments to be busy, and here it's basically showing me that now is the moment to kind of wind down, to start processing all of these things. And here, interestingly enough, we have Bast for the advice. Bast, see the little kitty right there? So Bast is the cat goddess of the Egyptian pantheon. This is actually a musical instrument, but it is a musical instrument, and it was a very important ceremonial prop for the ceremonies dedicated to Bastet. So, yeah, so the cat always lands on its feet when it falls. In this case, in the advice, it's talking about making the right move. So I'm just going to go look at my book just to get a closer look. And so this is the book I'm using. I'm looking at number 4. Intuition, caution, protection, devotion, mental healing, generosity. The healing rays carried by the symbol on this card are applicable to the mind rather than the body, although the body is also affected indirectly, for as we think, so we are. I agree completely about psychosomatic. Oh, beautiful. Okay. When the card falls in the upright position, the indication is that pressing worries or mental turmoils mental turmoils will soon pass, giving way to joy and happiness, which in turn promote good health. Okay. Can mean fidelity to the family unit. Interesting. Follow your intuition is yet another piece of advice offered by this card. Yes. Okay, so that's something that I really want to emphasize on. I know what I know about the cards, but I also like to look at the book, because even though the words are the exact same, certain words pop out differently each time I look at them. So definitely what popped out to me is following your intuition. Taurus, I'm pretty sure you already know what I mean when I'm saying follow your intuition, but there seems to be an even bigger emphasis on meditation and contemplation. Now, what do I mean? Meditation is to reset, to rest. Contemplation is to reflect. What have you been doing, the cause and effects of all of the things leading up in your life. Because certain people have a victimizing mindset. Others not necessarily have the victimizing mindset, but then they're the ones that pin it on other people, like, oh, they don't understand or they don't get it. When really they're pretty much, not balanced to see what's going on, what they're doing is affecting other people. So interestingly enough, what I'm getting here is contemplation. Meditation and contemplation. It's not just victimizing yourself, and it's not just making it a me versus them. This is calling for such an inner balance, because the inner balance also gives you the external balance. So that's pretty much what I'm getting here for the advice, which is quite beautiful. Following your intuition means meditating and contemplation in this sense. Quite profound. Interestingly enough, here for the solution we have water. So water is fluid, but it also needs ground. Without ground, it can't be able to flow. So in this case, I also forgot to mention that water also represents the emotions. So in this case, these are ungrounded emotions for the solution or advice. The message that I'm getting from this card is that there are a lot of conflicting emotions happening, which, makes sense. Look, let me just overview, okay? So here we have inner turmoil. And not just like intense turmoil, but there is something that you cannot, that just doesn't allow you to have the inner peace that you need or that you want. It doesn't matter. I think it's a need, right? We don't want inner peace, it's a need. So definitely there is something going on inside you that is not allowing you to take the next step towards that inner peace. The reason for asking is a lifelong project, starting from the ground up. Factors to be considered is that there could be a lack of spark, creativity, consistency. The advice we have here is following our intuition, meditation, contemplation, understanding the inside, not just understanding the inside, but what are you thinking of those outside of you? What do you think you're better than them? Or is it vice versa, where you're victimizing yourself? Okay, because that's really important, guys. I cannot stress, it's not just the spirituality of a person and that's it. It's also the way you conduct yourself socially, okay? Because if there's a recurring patterns that are happening socially, that means that you're doing something that's setting off the balance externally. So it's important to look at that, because that is going to affect your future, not just the internal, but how you conduct yourself socially, Taurus. And here for the solution or advice, it's just asking you to consider all of these emotions that you've been having, and to absorb them and to let them go. So along with this, when it comes to intuition, meditation, contemplation, this is saying it's not mental, it's also on an emotional level, and And it's almost giving you the go-ahead to start to feel everything you've been feeling once again, or that you repressed. And it's actually part of the next step forward for your inner calmness, this understanding of this emotional turmoil. Beautiful, Taurus. I really liked that. I hope that resonated with you. So, it's been a pleasure, really. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad I get to continue to do this. So just let me know what you think. And also, I really, really do hope that you're able to, that you go forward into this journey for your inner calmness and peace. So thank you so much, Taurus. I really do hope peace in your journey. And until next time, bye guys.